Hello. Hi everyone. Is this all working? Is that camera straight? It should be probably pointing a little bit more this away. I'm going to make it all crooked now though, aren't I? Trying to do this. It's okay. Hi everyone. If you're out there, are we coming through? Can you see us? Can you hear us? How'd you feel having a light in your right in your face, Rach?
It's on my glasses. It's on my glasses.
Maybe we'd be better off without that. We're not as bright without that though. What's better? Having the great big glaring light in the way, or slightly dimmer people? I'm gonna make sure all of this is working. Twitch seems to be coming through. YouTube sounds happy. Hey Triple L. Hi Steve. Everything's sounding good and looking good. Good. Now, Rach, what did you bring us here to talk about? Rach has convened this meeting.
I have not.
Of Board Games Monthly.
You convened it.
So yeah, we're gonna somehow. It's been a month. We weren't gonna have them at the end of the month. We were gonna try and change it around, but busy times happened. We had a week off, almost. Very nearly had a week off. Yeah, but
you did have a week off.
Nearly. Went into work on Monday. Had a week off of video duty. Although a How to Play still went up. The Tinner's Trail video still went up. And there was still stuff ready and waiting. But yeah, Escape Plan has just gone up if you're on Patreon. And hey, why wouldn't you be? Patreon.com/slickerdrips. The big screen means that I can actually point at this rather than just having to be in the corner. Yeah, you can see Escape Plan early, and there's going to be a vote next week. Exciting new things. There was no new arrivals, although I like looking back at some of the games and doing playthroughs of some of the things that I haven't managed to cover. But there's some new things arriving, isn't there, Rach? There are new boxes starting to accumulate downstairs.
There are lots of boxes.
So, hi Shiffy. We are doing okay, thanks. Well, I am doing okay, thanks. How are you doing, Rach?
I'm alright.
She's doing okay as well. Yes, playthroughs are always fancy shirt day.
Yeah, no one gave me that memo.
I'm running out of shirts. We gotta be presentable for the live stream. This is gotta have suit and tie to turn up to your job. Hey Master Yoda, can we get details on the giveaway? I still haven't worked out what's going to happen. I think it's just going to be... Well, I know from looking into... I knew that there was going to be some rules on Patreon. And so it can't just be that, you have to sign up to the Patreon to be part of the giveaway. And I wouldn't do this anyway, but you can't have, like, if you sign up to a higher tier of Patreon, you get more entries and things like that. You can't incentivize people to pay more on the Patreon. I wasn't going to do that anyway, but just in case. Yeah, so I think it's just going to be... Maybe it'll be on the recap, which will be... It might be next Wednesday. So September is coming quite soon, isn't it? September's Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday or Thursday. You'll see on Monday I'll post when the video is going to be. So in the recap video, I'll put where you could enter the giveaway. But yeah, I think you can have competitions where it's like draw the best picture and win. And if I'm choosing who wins, then yeah, you can do things like that. But if it's just random chance, which I think, yeah, let's just let people enter and win a copy of the game. Or would you like you want to draw the best picture of Marty? Yeah, but that will all be revealed, not because there's that much mystery about it, but because, yeah, I want to make sure that I'm allowed to do all of...
Yeah, it'll probably be like a raffle thing.
Yeah, it'll be some kind of raffle thing. Maybe we'd have to get some kind of special Marty prize together if we're going to have some kind of art competition. And then, yeah, I don't want to...
Art competition can, like, yeah...
I don't want to use people's pictures and stuff if people have drawn them.
And like best, what is the best? Because I would say maybe like the funniest or the most effort, but
yeah, we'd have to.
Some people might say that's the most.
Well, I thought like I'd want if you were gonna do like the best kind of entry or something, or the best art. You'd want somebody else to kind of receive all of the emails and take everyone's names out and everything, so it was like completely impartial, and then pick from there. But that gets into a lot of steps. It's one of the reasons that I haven't really done giveaways before. Partly because, like, I've never asked for an extra game before. It's only this time that I think I had the chance to with Calico, and I was just like, yeah, one game please. And then with Cascadia, I thought, well, yeah, let's give one away. It's great, and people want it. It's in the hotness on Board Game Geek. I was pleased to see. Hi, Michael. Happy Fancy Shirt Day. Yeah, Rach will win, like, most like the official Marty picture.
Thanks, Steve.
Which, by the way, like I should have this up ready on the browser, shouldn't I? Oh, it's in the history though. If I make us small for a sec, if this works, is this gonna work? Nope. Oh yes, it is. Okay, if you might have seen some posts on social media. I'm not wearing it right now, unfortunately, because sometimes it needs to be washed. But you can see the Slicker Drip shirt. Oh, this is the actual page for it that you can grab on sirmeeple.com. You can get the Rockets Away Morty shirt in all kinds of lovely colours and things.
When I looked yesterday, the red wasn't available.
Wasn't it?
Or the green, no. There's no this morning I looked.
Oh, right.
Maybe it is now.
Yeah, it's all like handled, like it will support the channel, but the majority of stuff goes to the creation of the shirt by the company that sorts it out, and then Tim makes the full-on design. Like Rach made the Marty, but Tim did the Rockets Away design to it. And there will be hopefully, fingers crossed, when time happens. When time passes, there will be more designs on there to come as well. Because there are several Martys, and maybe there'll be more Martys in the future. Maybe. The only thing in the way of there being more Martys is good ideas, I think. The first few Martys, I had some ideas I was really keen on happening. That's why there was Sheriff Marty and Space Marty. I think it's that Sheriff Marty was great, but Space Marty was so good that I couldn't top it. If I'm a game designer with an unlimited budget, which board game would you design and which video game? I would just make them re-release the Beatles Rock Band and license all the songs this time, and use some of that unlimited budget to force everybody in the world to play it until they accepted it, that it was the best thing ever. Board game, I've always said that, like, I would like, theme-wise, I would really like some board game where it is kind of music related, where you are either some kind of record company, but a benevolent record company, or some kind of artist trying to make it up the charts and stuff. The closest it's kind of come is Thrash and Roll, which was like a cool, it was dice placement, wasn't it? And that had an element where you were trying to race up the charts and stuff, but yeah, it didn't really stick around. I can't remember why. It's been a fair few years since then now, but I really like that kind of theme. And the other one I would like, although there are some in the kind of vague area, I'd really like some kind of wrestling board game. I don't know how you would do that, where you were kind of a manager, or you would like run some kind of stable or control some storylines or something like that. There are kind of, I think there's an RPG that does that. I don't really play RPGs though. I said not really. I don't play RPGs. But yeah, other than that, there's the kind of rock, paper, scissors stuff. I think there's like, what about a really cool Euro game about quite an Ameritrashy subject? I think that would be really cool. Yeah, for the giveaway, pay attention to the recap is when I'll do it. That'll be like the monthly kind of thing. And yeah, I should check in with Paul. I've seen him do his spreadsheet thing in the past, but I think it's just everyone who sends him an email in the recap video, isn't it? And if you watch it later, you get to enter as well. It'll probably be something like that. Hey Dan, I think we're playing, we're gaming Sunday, right?
Yes, we are, Dan.
Yeah, as far as I know, the three of us are anyway. Carrying on with the End. I'm glad you like the shirts. Raw Deal card game. What's that? Oh, what is the film Raw Deal? I can't think of it from the name now. I can only think of What's that film with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jim Belushi in it? It's nothing like Raw Deal, but that's the only VHS cover that I can think of right
Wrestling.
now. Oh, is it?
Wrestling.
Hey, Truck Driving Gamer. Phoenix, have I played the Night Cage? I've mentioned I've seen people mention it arriving, but we can. I haven't loaded up my my special streaming buttons, but we can have a look for it. You can see what do we need to do? The Night Cage. I'm not typing that in right, am I? Too many B's in BGG. Oh, the sheer speed of internet loading. We'll find out what it is eventually. We haven't got one on the way, or have really heard much about it. Cooperative horror themed. I should look over here, shouldn't I? Can I make this bigger so that we can see it on this screen? So I don't have to crane my neck around and look away from you. Yeah, cooperative horror themed tile placement game. Traps 1 to 5 lost souls in an unnatural labyrinth of eternal darkness. Find a key and escape. So, atmosphere, basically. Is it atmosphere without the VHS? I'd imagine there's more to it than there was atmosphere. No, it looks cool. It looks evocative. It looks creepy.
I like the keys.
Oh, a maze. Escape from a maze that changes whenever the light vanishes. Could be really cool. Looking forward to getting at home, turning off all the lights, lighting some candles and playing it in the dark. Yeah, that would be the best way. I'm trying to scroll on the wrong screen, that's why it's not working. Is it glow in the dark as well? Oh, your visibility is limited by the weak light of your candle as well, so it's like a thematic thing too. It's hiding my cursor, isn't it? That's why I can't see it on this screen. In the actual window that's streaming to you, it's not. There's some videos about. But no, I haven't really seen much about it. I'll keep an eye out for it if it turns up in the UK, which is usually a big chunk after. Like it's usually after Kickstarter things arrive anyway, but it's usually a big chunk after it arrives in other places. How do I make us big again? There we go. I should have like the browser small like in the corner when we go big. Are we heading to Gaming Rules Gaming Weekend for his post-50 birthday? We're not. We're not heading anywhere for any reason anytime soon. Maybe there's next year there'll be something. But there were rumblings about GridCon. Nothing like concrete. I don't know if it's booked up and everything. That was the last thing we went to, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Before the world kind of melted down. Maybe there'll be something to that. But yeah, Paul Grogan of Gaming Rules is streaming loads and loads of games for his big gaming weekend. Then we did go to. I think I went to one of his big gaming weekends before there was GridCons and stuff. We went to the GridCon together, didn't we? So no, but Paul is streaming a ton of games. If you'd like some more gaming this weekend, we're going to be having some smaller gaming. We started an Eon's End campaign last week with the what is it? Is it the New Age? Yeah, Outcasts is the one after that. We're going to play through. We did Legacy when it came out, and then got the boxes after that, and didn't really do much with them. Played them once maybe and put them away. We're going to try and see how long the fire lasts. Play through some of the story and stuff. Hi, Gemway. What games are you excited for coming up the rest of the year? Well, I won't go on for about Seize the Bean for 20 minutes again, but Seize the Bean still is that's going out to backers still, so ours come when that is all finished. But I'm really excited for that coming out. I am really looking forward to the Stefan Feld trilogy of. I can't remember whether it's Amsterdam and Hamburg, like reimaginings of Bruges and Macau. And there's like a third one involved there as well. I'm really looking forward to those because, yeah, we were meant to do the one that's like New Macau. We were going to do a video for that, which was really exciting because we love those. We love a lot of Stefan Feld games, and Macau is definitely one that we really, really like. But it never happened, shipping prototypes and stuff. Never happened, so I'm really looking forward to those coming in. And as far as like we've been playing, I mentioned yesterday we've been playing Sword and Sorcery, which isn't new, but it's new to us. We'd never played it. I'd always had it kind of at the back of my mind. Maybe we'll play it one day. But we played through like the base box of that, and I have got like expansions and stuff that we can play through. But I'm looking forward to it's pretty recently come out actually. The Ancient Chronicles, the next box, the next base game to that, with all of its kind of refinements and improvements on the base formula. Because yeah, we enjoyed what we've played so far, but there's room for things to change in it and improve in it. But there are expansions that we haven't played yet. Later in the year, I'm really excited for Role Player Adventures. Love Role Player, love that world and stuff, but absolutely love the idea that it's going to be this big choose your own adventure wrapper around it all. We've got like talk more about this in the recap and the playthrough vote, which yeah, you can vote on which playthroughs will happen next month on Patreon. But yeah, I'll talk more about them in the recap video. There's going to be like Glenmore Chronicles, which is the expansion to the big new Glenmore 2 Chronicles, which adds a solo mode. It adds some more Chronicles, as if it didn't have enough already, but it adds a solo mode from Mortimer Factory, so I'm really looking forward to that. Descent. Maybe some Descent. Do you want to see some Descent? That's going to be in the vote. Yeah, looking forward to loads of stuff. Oh, what have I missed? Oh, and Renegade's having a virtual convention. I need to look at what's coming out from Renegade. That's like the downside of not having the expos and the spiels. The spiel is happening, but probably without me. Come to Holland. I've never been to Holland. One day. Yeah, the City series from Feld. Hey, Rook6. If you're wondering where all of the questions are coming from, we're on YouTube as well. I'm not just imagining them all. I should imagine some to insert in there. Waiting for Cocopelli to arrive. Cocopelli will be the next game to be filmed. We do have a copy of that. And yeah, that's the thing I'm going to film next. Have we played a full game of Tinner's Trail? Not since the prototype, I don't think. The luck factor of the game can, like, yeah, the luck is there from like the dice that are dictating the price of it, of your goods, of how they fluctuate. So if you've gone really heavily into a particular, well, you know the price early on. But I suppose if you've kind of invested in mines that are really good for, say, copper, and the price never gets great for copper, then yeah, that can play into it. And also, you are going in without much knowledge of a lot of the tiles, right? Like, you can get knowledge of them in some ways, like at the end of each round, but that's like one tile at a time. And if you start the auction for a tile and play a card, you can get to look at a tile first. But you've only got 3 cards in the entire game, so you've got to, like, it's sometimes look what's on the other side of that mine. And sometimes, like, that's part of the game, right? That you're going to use if you do have the knowledge of what that tile is, then you want to either bluff that it's not that great and you're not that bothered and you want to get something for nothing, or you want to try and make it look good to everyone else, so they'll spend their money there and you'll have yours left for something else. But yeah, 2 players, the map is just cut down. Like, there's different boards and everything for it. Like, there are fewer developments available, there are fewer tiles out on the board, so you are squashed together more. But I think like the core game and stuff will be similar as well. Did I back Lands of Galzir? Well, hopefully we should be getting a final copy of it to continue a playthrough. But yes, I absolutely would. Otherwise, I am like it's. I always say in the playthroughs that yeah, we were paid to make the overview for. Oh, it was playthrough for Lands of Galzir, wasn't it? But yeah, I'm totally on board with anything that Sammy makes. Dale of Merchants, Dawn of Peacemakers have been absolutely amazing, and just like Lands of Galzir was a little chunk, right, of what the final game is going to be like. I really loved the kind of cute storybook adventures rather than these grand, the world is ending and we need to save it. As great as they are, I like the little adventures that we're going on in Lands of Galzir. Will I be trying out Glenmore solo mode? Definitely. I'm excited to see, you know, new Chronicles and Chronicles that have been designed by Johnny Pack. I did a playthrough of his Lions of Lydia recently, and I know he's done loads more than that. but I think that's the only one that I've played. And Rudiger Dawn have designed Chronicles for this, but the big draw for me, the biggest draw, is that it's got an official solo mode now, and it's from Ultima Factory, who make some of the best solo modes around. So yes, there will be. It's going to get put in the vote. We'll see how it does there. There'll be something for the expansion of Glenmore 2 sooner or later, but yeah, if it does well in the playthrough vote, which I hope it will, then yeah, it's going to be probably one of the new Chronicles, and we'll do it solo mode to try and show off as much as possible. Descent is on the way, Dan. It will be here. It will be here. Will it be great, though? And how am I going to have to organise cameras, because 3D terrain with an overhead camera isn't going to work out. Cruise with Tinner's Trail solo. I haven't played it solo. I didn't have it solo on the prototype, and I made a rules video for like just the multiplayer game, so I haven't played all of the different bits to it. You've got Glenmore 2 and Roleplayer Adventures. I am waiting for Roleplayer Adventures 2. Am I gonna try the new Queen Carp roll and write of Escape Temple of Doom? Is it Escape Curse of the Temple? Because I don't think it's come out properly yet. I'm not sure. Is it out in Germany or something? I've seen people with copies of it, but I haven't seen where to get hold of it yet. Yeah, I'm totally keen for that. I should ask them actually, because we did the one for Copenhagen that was really cool. But yeah, I really loved Escape. I think we did we play it too much? I think you got bored of Escape in the end.
Yeah, because you really loved it and wanted to play
I really
it all
love
the
Escape.
time.
It's fantastic. So yeah, let's
So we rinsed it.
get the rolling right back, and let's get escaping again. yeah, the questions are coming through on YouTube as well. But if you've got any, let us know. Master Yoda, any tips on Gates of Loyang solo? I need to figure out, by the way. Sorry for interrupting your question midway. Surely there's a way of, like, maybe you'd have to copy and paste the question so it appears on the screen as well. Hey, that's for the future time. Any tips on Gates of Loyang solo? I'm not very good at it. I've only done kind of a couple of practices and that solo playthrough. I think that maybe a few games when I got it years ago. I don't feel like I'm very good at it at all because I tend to. It happened in the playthrough as well. That and it's deliberate. The way that the card system works is that only like a certain row of them is free. You kind of end up getting it clogged up with cards that you never wanted, and I wonder if you should probably like adapt to those cards that fall through just to keep making others come down there, because I think getting a loan early always seems really good because you're going to have to pay it off in the end, but when those movement steps are just like are really cheap in the beginning, like it seems so worth it to be able to get a few more steps early, where because you have to, like, if you haven't played Loyang, the whole point to this is at the end of the round you can pay money to go up the points track, and your first step, no matter where you are, is 1 money. Your next step, every step after that, costs the number step you're going to. So if you're going to step number 5, it costs you 5 coins to go there. So the earlier you do it, the higher you can get up earlier on, the more you'll be saving on that first movement step that only costs you a coin. But yeah, I think having like the one-off customers, having them come in for it's kind of luck, right? What's going to come out on the cards as well, because if you can get things that all line up, market traders that will provide you with the goods that the regular customers and the one-off customers that you've got actually want, then absolutely fantastic. But yeah, I think the bonus from, you want to have regular customers just to have that money guaranteed for stuff that you've planted and you know you're going to keep harvesting, but the bonus that you can get from having fewer one-off customers, getting the bonus money from them, is a nice benefit as well. But it means you've got to have you can only take a few at a time. Oh, and 2 packs. When you make sure you're not keeping hold of too many cards, so the price of your 2 packs stay really cheap as well because they can get you cards that are essential. But as I say, I'm rubbish at it, I think. So don't take it too seriously. Also waiting for Glenmore 2 to arrive as well. Is that George Harrison behind you?
Yep.
Oh yeah, that is. I'm gonna get it. We're not green screened. I'm not gonna ruin it. It used to be in the background. Other things, yes. It's a drawing of George Harrison. I like it. It's that living in the material world. Yeah, that's on the cover of the film and the book and everything for that documentary. Haven't watched that for ages. Rach. It's like is it like a 3-hour Martin Scorsese film just about George Harrison? That's great. But it is. Drawn by Tiggy on Twitter. Great artist. Yeah, the new solo mode for Glenmore 2, yeah, it works with all of them. But I think if it had a playthrough for the expansion, I would do a solo mode of one of the new ones, just so that like that's like a 2-in-1 video. You get to see the new solo mode and you get to see one of the new Chronicles as well. But yeah, I think the new bot is like flexible, that it will work with all of the Chronicles. And I presume because you can add on Chronicles in the normal multiplayer game, you can choose your own combination of them. You're not really limited to what you can go on. So I would assume that it's that way in the solo too. But I haven't seen it yet. It arrived like yesterday. I haven't even opened it yet. But it will be in the recap. It'll be in the vote and all of that stuff. But yeah, that'll be tons and tons of games, especially if you can have loads of the combos, which I would imagine that you can. I need to play 2nd edition to compare. I don't really remember I would not remember 2nd edition well enough at this point to remember. To compare them properly? Do you, Rach? You remember well enough. Well, there we go then. Rach remembers well enough, so that's fine.
Yeah, we did. We failed. We died.
Did we?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I remember us being in a kind of
We're in a cave.
square room. There was like
layers.
stairs.
Yeah.
There was like stairs, and there was enemies on one side.
Sure we died.
There was like portals in the wall or something like that. I remember bits because we played it with the app, didn't we? We played like the nice co-op version, which like the new version is just co-op app related. But I think there's like story bits where it asks you choices and stuff. Who knows? That isn't even here yet.
Oh, Dan says we didn't fail.
You remember wrong, Rach, so you don't remember well enough to compare
Maybe I
them.
was just wishing.
Where a multi GoPro cam for Descent. Yeah, that would just be that would just be a static GoPro of a view of under one of the desks or on the bed probably. But I need some kind of like, yeah, maybe like a big tripod, or I'm gonna have to like move the camera way back and tilt it so you can see it a little bit better, which would be a shame really because it took ages the other day setting up there's a new like holder for the camera, which is an actual one. It's an expensive one, but it had to be because the cheap one that I was using was bending with the weight of the camera and I was worried. But Rach helped me get it all straight. It hit me in the face. I didn't realise it was on a spring. It really hurts here still. Too many chairs. Yeah, far too many. You can't fit the enormous computer chairs and fit us both on the screen, so we've got to use these backup chairs as well and hide the enormous chairs in the background. There's a Beatles doc on. Yes, there is Get Back. That was going to be a new Beatles film by Peter Jackson. I say that like I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, but Peter Jackson knows how to make huge films. And he did that... I haven't seen it, but They Shall Not Grow Old, right? With all the World War I footage. And I haven't seen the film, but I saw like a little behind the scenes of them making it, where they had to, it's all like hand wound cameras and stuff because it's from ages ago with no audio and stuff, and they've like corrected the speed, corrected the color, made it look like it could have been filmed. Like it made it look like it could have been like a reenactment or something, but it's actual footage from all of that. So he's got experience making massive films and restoring footage, and apparently loves the Beatles. So who better to have hours and hours and hours of Beatle footage thrown at him? And like, so it was going to be an amazing film. You know, right now it's going to be the best film of the year, but now it's going to be the best TV series of the year on Disney Plus in November, right? It's like the 26th or something, 26th, 27th, 28th. It's 3 consecutive nights in November, 2 hours a night. It's going to be amazing, isn't it, Rach? And it's gonna dispel all of the things that like everyone's believed for all these years, that Let It Be was such a miserable time and they were breaking up and stuff. No, they were having loads of fun. I'll stop talking about the Beatles for a bit now, but I'm really excited about that documentary. It's going to be great. And the new album's going to be out, and a great big book for Get Back. Oh, it's going to be brilliant. We didn't fail. We were playing like arcade mode. Oh, so we didn't even play like the story mode of it. Rach, your
There's
facts.
definitely some story on the iPad too.
I'm really doubting all of these facts now. Yeah, there would have been like story, but I think that's like we played that of Medora as well. We played like I can't remember what the mode's called,
We
but
started
like
off in like a little thing, and then we had to run up the stairs, up the cave stairs.
Yeah, I remember there being stairs.
Maybe the boss spawned in there.
But that was a bit like did we only do like 1 or maybe 2 adventures of Medora on their like arcade mode, whatever that was called? And yeah, I don't think that worked as well as like the campaign of Medora is absolutely amazing if you're into a lot of story. And yeah, sitting around getting builds and going to the shop and stuff when you don't even play the game yet. Whereas Medora, like I'd imagine Descent works in a similar way as well, but Medora starts you off. Here's your gear. You'll choose your own later, but just get playing. You can. Yes, there is. Are we ever going to get a Rach's top 10 video or a top 10 we play together? Well, like the top 10 overall, it is my top 10, and there are definitely some games in there that Rach doesn't like at all, or Rach would definitely not put anywhere near like a top 10. But there is, if we go back in the mists of time, that was last year, wasn't it? Where is it? There it is. You see Rach's top 10 games here from 11 months ago. That is on the channel. There's me with the braced stuff, whatever it's called, a sling when I broke my shoulder. Oh, and we're live now with Q&A. Because I just searched Rach. Yeah, Rach's top 10 is there. We were going to do, I think at some point we were going to do like top 10 games we disagree on. And it's just, it was hard coming up with it, and we never did it in the end. My collective top 10 would, I don't know, would it just be, well, I suppose like you'd take any solo consideration out of it. And so any games that Rach just outright doesn't like wouldn't be in there at all. But then would we average out the scores or something? Maybe there'll be something like that. I need to do top 10s again. I haven't done one for a while. Do we have a playthrough of Destinies? Yes. There is, I think for one of the, switch again. There it is. For one of the, there's a tutorial story and then there are some main stories. So it's the first main story I did a playthrough of. Yeah. It's on there. Is it worth buying for a solo gamer? I had a lot more fun with it solo than multiplayer. Like multiplayer, especially because it's competitive, was frustrating. And coming off the back of playing it multiplayer, I didn't really enjoy the game. Whereas it helped that it was being done live and I was trying to play the character in a bit of a silly way. But I had way more fun going through it solo, just because there isn't really like a pressure on you. There is a timed solo mode that you can play, and you fail if you don't do it in so many turns. I was more bothered about experiencing the story. But yeah, I had a lot more fun solo, and I feel like it's harder for me to say because I got sent Destinies to do a video on it. But it did seem, from what people were saying in the chat at the time, it seemed cheaper than I would expect for the stuff that is in there. But yeah, I would say solo was better than multiplayer for me anyway. I don't know if it is worth buying just for solo though. Hey Christos, got bonus at work and you have the okay to buy one new game: Gloomhaven, Underground Railroad, or Arkham Horror Pre-Order Edge of Earth set. What is that the card game or the board game? I don't know why that makes difference in my head. So you've not played Gloomhaven or Freedom? Is it Freedom the Underground Railroad? Or you would get more for Arkham Horror. Maybe if you really love the LCG, then it's hard to resist a whole new set of it. But I would say, like, just massively biased by, like, I think Arkham is a great game aside from little frustrations I have about it. But Gloomhaven's my favourite game, so I would always say Gloomhaven. But yeah, it depends what you're after because
they are very different.
Yeah,
Aren't they?
well, they're all co-ops, but yeah, Freedom the Underground Railroad is more a conventional game in the sense that there isn't like a big ongoing thing. There isn't any legacy elements or any ongoing scenario elements between the games that I know of. Maybe that was added in since, but yeah, it's a brilliantly made, like, taking aside, like, I know it's a really important part of it, I'll get to it, but like just mechanically as a cooperative game, it works brilliantly. And then adding on the kind of the theme to it and the thematic drive for why you're doing what you're doing, and like just elevates the game loads more. And it's full of all of that like historical flavor and stuff. All right, I thought Freedom was brilliant, but then yeah, Gloomhaven, you need a lot of time and a lot of space for it. But if you've got that curiosity and drive for it, then Gloomhaven is, yeah, it's just the best thing.
It's a great time.
Yeah, if you're into dungeon crawls and puzzly, not just dungeon crawls though, you have to be into the kind of difficult at times, puzzly card play, more than just being into a dungeon crawl. Because yeah, I've seen plenty of people that bought it that love dungeon crawls in general and absolutely hated Gloomhaven. I can see why, because it's yeah, a lot of time can be spent discussing cards and staring at like what you've got and just wondering what to do, rather than just getting in there and trying to fight and stuff. It's very different. I'm not sure which one that you should get. Did I read Billy Summers by Stephen King? I did. I bought it. I bought a purple edition of it. I'm not sure what difference that made other than the fact that it was purple instead of blue. But yeah, I read it quite quickly. I really liked it. It's kind of more in the style of... I can't remember what the last book was. What was the other book this year that was kind of... It was a little bit supernatural and it had a kid in it. I read that as well, but I can't remember the name of it. It was called Later. I knew it was one word. I could only think Blaze, and it definitely wasn't called Blaze. Yeah, it's kind of in that kind of style, rather than like the supernatural kind of Stephen King. That did have a supernatural element to it, but this kind of like real world crimey kind of thing, and like in a different way from like say the Mr. Mercedes kind of trilogy. Yeah, it's a more real world story, and I really enjoyed. So like the broad basic stuff without spoiling stuff that will be on the back of the book is like there's an assassin. He doesn't want to be an assassin no more. He's going to do one more job for a big payoff, and then he's out. And so, you know, straight away,
It's always one, just one more.
it's going to be more complicated than just one more job and then he's out. And then of course, Stephen King, it's not just going to be that straightforward story. More gets piled onto it than that. I really enjoyed it. I wouldn't say I would put it among like my favorites of like say the Dark Tower ones or anything, but I really enjoyed it. I went through it really quickly. It was unputdownable, almost, apart from the times when I put it down for a bit. I really enjoyed it, though. Well worth a tenner. You play... My serious vote would be Arkham. Yes, it's called later. Hi, James. How's it going? Christoph's leaning more towards Gloomhaven or Arkham. Yeah, I think that's more than... Well, like, I suppose Pandemic's got a bit more real-world significance than it had previously now. But, yeah, for Freedom, there's nothing... And I'll say that from our position of not really being that informed on the kind of specifics of that period of, like, American history, that even just from, like, glimpses at the rulebook and flavor text on cards and stuff, yeah, it's a really, really powerful theme, and that probably helps it more than any other co-op in that respect. Because, yeah, there is an actual panic drive to save all of the people that you can. Yeah, let us know which one you went for, and if you enjoyed it, because I hope you did. James, what are we? You and a super intelligent snail get $1 million, become immortal. You die if the snail touches you. It always knows where you are and slowly crawls towards you. What's your plan? Put it in something.
Put it in the sea.
Where do snails really like to live? It's got $1 million though. Oh, it's super intelligent. It might not be caught that easily. But it's small though, right? Could I make my own network of slightly less intelligent snails? If I've got 10 slightly less intelligent snails on its trail, then surely it's not going to get that far. Surely tracking it's not going to be...
They're not going to catch up.
Mind you, you'd think tracking a snail isn't going to be that difficult because it leaves a trail behind it, but it's super intelligent. It's probably invented some kind of cleaner that it attaches to itself. So as it leaves the trail, it's immediately getting cleaned back up behind it. It's got some kind of street sweeper apparatus built into it as it goes by. And that's a terrifying scenario. Like, my initial thing was just put the snail in something. Some really nice condo thing. But he's got $1 million. He can pay for that. I die if the snail touches you. Can I not reason with the snail? Can I not, for a portion of that $1 million, surely I can get some kind of amazing debater to talk the snail around and find out what its problem is. Or hire someone to steal the snail's $1 million, and then it won't have all this technology. However intelligent it is, it's not going to have the funds to fund this street sweeper, and then I can track it down by the trail that it's leaving.
You won't need to track it down, it's following you. It's always following you.
Yeah, but he's not going to be obvious, is he? He's super intelligent. He's not just going to be behind me.
He's just going to barrel towards you forever in a straight line.
He's super intelligent, Rach. That's point one that we...
but how intelligent is a snail going to get? So
yeah.
just, it's just they're made.
What is super intelligent for a snail? You got a lot of Pandemic in with the family lately. With the Pandemic Home Edition. I didn't play that. I'm looking forward to, as well, harking back to games that are coming up later in the year, the World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King, which is like the Pandemic system with World of Warcraft attached. I really liked that. That was the period that I was playing it. I read the book that was like, I can't remember what it was called. Maybe it was just called Wrath of the Lich King. I can't remember. It was his backstory. I liked it. Maybe that'll be good. But I would really like as well to play... We haven't played base Pandemic for maybe before Legacy even came out. Like base Pandemic. I say base Pandemic, like original Pandemic with On the Brink and especially In the Lab thrown on. In the Lab makes it even better than you can imagine. I really like juggling the cubes around all the various dishes and stuff. It's beautiful. Let's play that at some point. Hey, Two Hoots. Surround yourself in salt. There we go. That should have been number one. Just stand still.
Just walk around with like a trail of salt always.
Yeah, if he's going to have the street sweeper behind him, I'm going to have the funds to make some kind of salt. Oh, but that's going to let him track me even easier.
He's tracking you anyway. He always knows where you are.
Yeah.
He just knows.
I need to get some salt suit made so he can't actually come anywhere near me. That completely covers me. And then I'll be fine. Shiffy backed Adventures in Neverland. I don't think. I feel bad that I've never seen these games that everyone says. Adventures. Did I see Adventures in Neverland? I definitely didn't do a video about it. Let's have a look and see if... No, it doesn't look familiar. I'm cool with the theme. I think they only... It's nothing to do with this game, but we did play the Return to Neverland theme of Robinson Crusoe when we played it again to see if we'd changed our minds about Robinson Crusoe. I like the scenario. We haven't changed our minds about Robinson Crusoe, though, unfortunately. It's being Peter Pan. Is it like a story? Oh, a storytelling game. Is it a storybook game? Is it a big Peter Pan storybook game? What's going on here?
You put the token in the book.
A book? Oh, wow. Oh, that's your playboard looks like a little book. That's cool. But is there like a... No, I didn't know about it before. And it's a 3-weight game. I'm subscribing. You can see. Oh, I'm not logged in. I will subscribe. I'll leave that window open. And I'll subscribe on the browser that I am logged in on. This is supposed to be the empty browser. Oh no, I hadn't seen it, but I'm intrigued now. I'll seek it out when it becomes available. When was it a Kickstarter? A year ago. Oh, so it could be on the way then. I'm looking away again. I need to have everything on monitors over here. Adventures in Neverland. Highlights of your holiday. What's your highlight of your holiday, Rach?
Don't know. Skegness, I guess.
Skegness.
That was definitely your highlight.
The seaside. I like the seaside.
Running around the arcades.
Yeah, the seaside really is no different to how it was. The English seaside is no different to how it was when I was little. It's pretty much exactly the same as it was. Although, I haven't been for years and years, but Rhyl was really run down the last time we went to Rhyl. And Rhyl used to be amazing as a kid. Maybe it was all... So you don't know. Maybe it was always not that great, but you didn't know because you were little. But I think a lot had shut in Rhyl. Whereas like Skegness seems like it would have been like that years and years ago.
It's always been like that.
Yeah, because we always used to go to Skegness. Before, I think Butlins got too expensive, and then we started going to Haven in Great Yarmouth because it was cheaper.
I always liked Great Yarmouth.
But Butlins is... The last time we went to Butlins is where they had the cinema put in, and I went to see Wild Wild West every day. So that's really the best holiday, isn't it? Yeah, I really enjoy Skegness. It's nice just relaxing as well.
The highlight of my holiday was forcing myself to not do any work for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's nice being somewhere different, isn't it? Wherever it is, it's nice just being somewhere different, and as well, like it's annoying sometimes being in a place that's got like no Wi-Fi and almost no phone signal. Sometimes it's annoying when you just need to look something up or check if something's happened, but a lot of the time it's a good thing that like where you would probably be looking something up or on Twitter or something, you're not on it because you can't. So suddenly you're just not doing that, which is good to break out of that for a little bit. But yeah, highlights: getting tickets in arcades and trading them in for prizes for other people. Really, I'm very, very generous. Rach had some earrings. Are you wearing your earrings, Rach?
No.
Rach had some special earrings. Her grandma had a glittery unicorn thing. Decoration. Ellen got a sticker book. I think I got some sweets, which I was the real winner.
That's all you wanted, sweets.
I just want sweets. Do we have any favourite Splotter and PAX games? I don't think I've played one. I had Antiquity described to me a lot when we used to have a local game store and game group, but for whatever reason, I think probably time. It probably takes a lot of time to play those games. Yeah, and Antiquity sounded cool, but we never ended up playing it. And yeah, it's one of those things where like they're expensive because, and yeah, rightfully so. There's a ton of components and they're small print runs, right? So they can, yeah, there isn't like economy of scale in them. So they're all like expensive games, and I feel like I would like to play them, but I probably wouldn't like them. So that I've never really like took the plunge with them, but I would like to play them in the end. Beer moats around your abode. They're not like, oh, they don't like beer. Well, yeah, we could do that. I'd have something dispensing salt and something dispensing beer, just in case he was so super intelligent he's made himself immune to one of them. But what if he's so super intelligent he's made himself immune to both of them? What do you do then? How super intelligent
I think you're
is
overestimating
super intelligent?
intelligence
He's super
of a
intelligent.
snail.
He's super intelligent anyway, and he's got $1 million to work with that super
I
intelligence.
think there's levels of super intelligence depending on what you are. I don't think a snail would be as super intelligent as
What if snails are just the most intelligent creature, but you just don't know?
super intelligent.
Do you think zebras know polar bears exist, Rach?
They do.
Do they? How?
Some zebras do. You can't really say yes or no because zebras that live in a zoo might know that polar bears exist while they're being transported about.
Yeah, they definitely do.
But zebras in the
There's-
wild don't know that polar bears exist.
Yeah, there's social networking now. There's social media. There's WhatsApp. There's Facebook. Everyone's connected now. They probably didn't before the last. It's probably really accelerated different species knowing about each other in the last 20 years or so. They probably never would have known, but now people working at zoos or people living near a zebra, FaceTiming each other. Zebra sees a polar bear in the background. Sneak on the
I was
iPad when they're not
answering the
looking.
question sensibly.
I'm answering it sensibly. I'm answering it in the spirit with which it was asked.
I think it was a serious question.
I think it's I was answering seriously. I think that definitely happens. Oh, is this Adventures in Neverland, a story-driven game about Peter Pan, sort of, at the end of the year? Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I hope that, like, because Essen's happening, but I won't be there for the first time. Well, we didn't go last year because it wasn't there. But for the first time since I've been going to Essen, since like 2016, was that the first one that I went to? So yeah, it'd be weird not to be there. But hopefully, that's the kind of thing that will probably be at Essen if it's like made in time, and hopefully I can get my hands on them still because it's harder you not being there. The people have to know you want it and send it to you, and we have progressively cut ourselves off from the world, and sending things to us when you're not, or when the things aren't already in England, is harder and more expensive. So hopefully things like that still happen, but they'll make their way to England sooner or later, won't they? Just maybe won't be, maybe October won't be as packed as it once has been, but hopefully we'll still get some exciting things. Will we be doing a Verdant playthrough live stream? No, we will be doing an overview, a recorded overview of it, and first impressions. Just done for all of the flat out things now, I think. Did I do a playthrough of Calico originally? Yeah, with Kickstarters, it's up to the publisher what they, because like the Kickstarter videos are all like sponsored by the publishers, so it's up to them what they would like to have on it. I'm flat out are keen on the overviews. But eventually, there'll be a full playthrough like Cascadia. Here it is. Haven't put it away. Cascadia was an overview originally, and eventually it'll grow up to be a full-grown playthrough. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. That will be played soon and filmed next week. Marty can. No, Marty is nowhere to be seen. I don't think. Yeah, I think we've got to get another stage of temperature down in the house to bring him back in here. I think he's learned eventually that this room is too hot to be in. I think he's in the bedroom. I think that's where he's gradually working his way up from just always being downstairs when it was really hot. Now, in the last week or so, he started going back in the bedroom, which is where he always was when we moved in. And I think eventually he'll remember his lovely comfy seat with Rach's dressing gown on it, and he'll get back into position for the multicam. I think that multicam is just going to have to be a seasonal thing. Or we get the multi GoPro and just have it like following him around all the time. You can find an online version of Antiquity, but it can be buggy. Yeah, I think there's probably like a tabletop simulator and stuff in it, but yeah, I'd like to play it properly at some point, but I don't feel like it's something that's going to happen anytime soon. Even the things that I think are happening sometime soon don't get enough time to happen. Okay, one day there'll be time, Rach. One day there'll be enough time. Yeah, they're definitely, they're niche, but they're impressive in their ambition of what they want to show off. I think one of the things about Antiquity that was like part of the, I don't know about being off put, but like it was part of the story of how Antiquity was always explained to me, is that like you could get, if you made a bad decision early on in Antiquity, there was like a way you could leave yourself with no wood or something, and wood was like essential. So if you made that mistake, you were out of the game, but the game would still go on for its, what, like 3+ hours or something? So, yeah, you would have to make sure you didn't do that. That's not the Antiquity I meant to go on. Antiquity 2004. Where is it? Come up. There it is. What do you think, Rach?
I don't know.
It's got tons of tiny bits. Teeny tiny chits.
It looks like there's a lot going on there.
But it's like, yeah, you are expanding like a civilization out on this little map. It's loosely modelled on Italy in the late Middle Ages. You can get a copy, £120. Yeah, it seems like a lot, but I said why, didn't I? I won't click on people's marketplace things. Oh, Roddo did an Antiquity. I don't remember that. I may have watched it though. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Maybe one day you'll be seeing some Antiquity on here, but I wouldn't anticipate anytime soon. I've lost my mouse. Where is it? There it is. Probably lost on the other screen. Marty. Oh, the only Splotter you've played is Bus. Is that like there's like time travel involved in it or something? I think Bus is one that I looked at, and then somebody commented on how much they liked it because of how mean it was, and then I haven't looked into it since then, because that means it wouldn't be for us then. Marty point of view GoPro cam would be fun. He would shake it off instantly.
Yeah, he won't be wearing that.
Yeah, there's only one time that he's had to try and get one of the animal cones on his head. It was just impossible.
It was a nightmare. We got it on once, and it was an absolute nightmare. And then he instantly, he didn't stop until it was gone. Yeah,
it's like so to the point of like it looked like he was gonna hurt himself, of just like so vigorously trying to get it off. And then as soon as it was off, got his bandage off his foot as well, like instantly. But he didn't have something seriously wrong with him. He just cut his paw a little bit. Luckily, it was fine. Because we're thinking, what is he gonna if it's gonna bleed again? What is he gonna do? Because he's not gonna relax about this. We got not long after we got him, we got one of those cat harnesses with the like you can take cats outside, like just so he could be like in the back garden or something like that. And yeah, he just as soon as you put the harness on him, he just collapsed sideways and just started trying to kick it off. There was no chance he would ever go for that. What does Marty do when we go on holiday? If we just go for a few days, like we're only really away.
Oh, 2 nights, weren't we?
Yeah, so like he's okay with just we've got like automatic feeders, and yeah, they will open up with some wet food at the beginning and then dry food like for the next day. and like tons of water. We've kept that actually. Like he's got various water bowls strewn around the house now, just to make sure he's got everything. If it was like a little bit longer, like I'm sure that somebody would check in on him, but then there's worries about like he's an indoor cat and stuff, so like don't want to give someone the.
He has been like when we've been away before. He goes on holiday as well.
Yeah,
to
he
a
get like
little cattery.
yeah. If we've gone to America, that's for like 2 weeks, so he goes to a cattery for 2 weeks and seems to really enjoy it there. But yeah, if it was like a couple of days longer, if it was like 4 days or something, I'm sure someone could check in. But I don't like if I've gone to look after someone's cats and like if one had got out, that's bad then.
Yeah.
Like it's like putting, I don't know,
And
pressure and responsibility.
He doesn't really like other people. He only really likes us.
He's terrified of strangers. It's all hissy and funny
He is a bit mean.
for the first few visits.
For a Care Bear, he's quite mean.
Yeah, maybe Marty wants a cut of the action to be in the streams. He's seen that the YouTube ads are on. Maybe he wants a cut of it to start appearing in here again. Makes sense. He's not approached us with any of this, but maybe the freeze out needs to continue for a bit before he approaches us with his proper negotiations. Hey Necro Daddy. Bag it all or use included game insert. It depends really. If it's just one of those, cardboard W's that's just there for like transit, probably throw that away. Unless it's got some really nice printing on it, and then I might still throw it away, but I feel bad about it. If it's got like a lovely proper insert, I'll use that, and sometimes we'll have to have the game like horizontal because the things will fall around, but I can't throw away one of those. But generally, like, unless it's got a proper insert, yeah, just bags for everything. But I am like, it's tempting sometimes. Like, if it's a game that's got a million bags as well, I still go for individually bagging stuff, but I can see the temptation of just put it all in a bag. Just put it all in a bag and pour it all out into a pile when you play the game. It takes ages, but I never do it. I think about it. I kind of like watching horror and awe. It's when I see like Eric Martin from Board Game Geek. He does all sorts of things because he must have an enormous game library working there, and like cuts up boxes to be the size of the game that's inside because you need the space. And like when he's done with the game, just gets the box bottom, swipes it all into the box bottom, and there it's done. Like, kind of in a similar situation to us. You're probably not going to play this again for years, and so the cleanup can come when you come to play it again. I haven't done that, but I watched those like at first being like, how could you ever do that? And then starting to think that would be amazing to finish a game and then just be seconds done.
Then when you come to play it again and you have to sort through all that, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, but you probably would when it's like loads in the future. And then sometimes it's like lovely. Well, you can see videos on the channel of like the folded space make the foam core inserts, or E-Raptor make lovely wooden inserts as well. I've done videos for various ones of those. There'll be one coming up soon as well. Hey Isaiah, you bought Mage Knight after watching your top solo games video, but haven't gotten around to playing or learning it yet. The best way to learn it, in my opinion, well, there's loads of ways. Depending on just who you kind of learn from the best. When I learned it for the first time, it was Ricky Royal's tutorials series. Still absolutely fantastic. Still, when I've gone too long without playing Mage Knight, still kind of my go-to to refresh it. Beyond Solitaire has done fantastic videos on Mage Knight. Paul Grogan on Gaming Rules has done a tutorial playthrough now. And when I think earlier this year, was it? When I finally got Mage Knight back and I'm committing to, like, I'm going to remember the rules this time and keep playing it, which I did for a bit. I still know the rules. I'll do a playthrough soon. It didn't get very many votes, though, in the last playthrough to do another Mage Knight video. And it's a big amount of time. But yeah, I did a playthrough where I went through the tutorial as well. And kind of the tutorial the walkthrough of Mage Knight is absolutely the best way of learning it, and you will get, like, I'm sure everyone that I've mentioned, including me, has done a playthrough series based on that walkthrough, because the walkthrough is kind of deliberately designed to gradually introduce you to elements of the game. The tiles are set out in a certain order that, okay, well, this tile has got a monastery on it, and this tile has got a village on it, and all of that stuff. It's really, really well done. But if you'd like a video as well, one of those would be fantastic. Hey, Knights around the table. Just bought a cat fountain for yours. I've tried those. They're a lot better than they used to be. Well, maybe we should try one again. We did try one about 5 years ago, I want to say, and it was too noisy for Marty. He wasn't into it. He liked the, like the look of it sometimes, like the flow of the water, and I think maybe played with it
We never
once or
drank from
twice. Yeah, would never drink from it, and generally would keep well clear of it. But yeah, I'd imagine that since then, technology might have improved, and we should give one another go. We saw quite a good one when we were away, didn't we?
Yeah.
A cool looking one. Maybe we should have gotten it. Oh yeah, like my sister's got a fountain for her cats that didn't seem as noisy. Maybe we should try it again, because they do like that, don't they? Hey Legends DM, if you're wondering what I'm going on about all the time, that I'm on YouTube as well. There are 2 chats. I'm not always talking to myself. Christos, you buy special containers sometimes, like for colonists. Oh, like a custom insert, or like tubs and things. Like I used to get those. They're called Plano boxes in America, right? Yeah, where it's like fishing tackle boxes with all the little compartments in there. I used to have them for pretty much every game, and then went off them. And then a couple of games have still got the. They used to have them in Poundland. You would get like little tubs. You'd get like a pack of 8 of those for £1. I've still got those for things that have just got tons and tons of tiny little tokens, like Shipyard has got hundreds and hundreds of them. Still keep those little tubs for those. But yeah, sometimes if the timing's right and it's something really special, like I bought a lovely insert from Mage Knight. You're doomed tonight because your local game store is having a 30% off on a bunch of games. That's paradise, right? But yeah, I can see, like, your wallet is doomed, but hopefully there'll be great games. I miss a local game store, Rach.
I don't.
Well, yeah, there are less games being bought randomly without having a local game store. Surround the table, spending weeks printing the Scythe Legendary insert. Oh, is that like a 3D printing, like, templates for the is it called the Legendary box, the one that can just hold everything, the enormous one? And also to fit trying to put a few Lacerdas away. What, in the inserts that they come with, the Eagle Griffin ones. Sometimes it's not obvious what goes where in those. What are some of our favourite dry or themeless Euros? I'm never really kind of put off and, I don't know, judgmental, or not judgmental, but it never kind of strikes me that, oh, this hasn't really got a theme to it. For dry, I would say loads of them are really dry, like theme wise, of like things like Shipyard, or like even like Agricola, like just trying to, like, is the test kind of, if you took this to a game night, like I always did, like taking them to like our game group that we used to go to when we had a game store, and being like, what's this game like, and describing it from its theme, being like, well, everyone knew Agricola, but describing Agricola, being like, well, we're going to play this really long game and you get loads of cards and it's about farming and you'll probably starve and it's really hard to make points. It's like, they're not the most exciting of themes. Like Peloponnese is like pretty much, it's the best auction game that there is, but like theme wise, oh, we're expanding our terrain in Greek times and stuff and averting disaster. Like, I don't mind that at all. I still love Peloponnese. It's one of my favourite games. But just theme-wise, it's hard to sell people based on that. Like Augustus. Like, Your
Bingo.
Romans, it's Roman bingo, and you're getting cards and stuff. It's why like there are some things that it's a shame to be missing from Augustus, but the Via Magica re-implementation of it, theme wise, it's just a million times. It's more approachable. It's more like it will draw people in a lot more. I don't know, like a lot of them. I think the themes are great for things like Zangwo and Energy Empire and stuff, and Keeper, even though they're just like it's just expanding your land and stuff. Hey, about it, board games. How many games do you own? I would say probably about 250. I think maybe 200. Because we did cut, there was like a significant cut down when we moved last Christmas. And I don't feel like, even though things are arriving, I don't think it's crept up to what it was. And I think last time I did a proper keep track of everything that I've got, it was about 250. So I'd say probably closer to 200, which is still maybe too many games. Definitely for this room, we're at the limit of the games that can be in here. One of the best game teachers is Genu from Genus Solo, but you have to know German. I'm sorry. Cats don't like having their water anywhere near. Yeah, we had him. I guess it was an adjacent room, but it wasn't in that room. But the one we have definitely wasn't silent. We should give him a go with a silent one. Oh, there's a tool that copies comments from YouTube and Twitch and vice versa. Is there? I'll have to get that on then. I didn't know that existed. I would like a tool as well that can make the comments, like I could just highlight a question and it appear on the screen. I'm sure something like that might exist. But yeah, I'll have to look into that for the next stream, actually. I was going to say the next Q&A, but all of the streams at the moment are on Twitch and YouTube as well. So yeah, like hobby stores. Yeah, I think we're talking about the same thing, like those fishing tackle boxes. How do you guys do it? Good timing. I said that. You built all the terrain for the new descent, but haven't got to play it yet. We haven't got it yet. It will be arriving, but I don't know that we're going to be playing it straight away. It would be a shame to abandon Aeon's End straight away because something shiny has arrived. But I feel like there would be a much higher demand for a video about Descent than another one about Aeon's End. But I'd really like to do some more videos about Aeon's End. It's fantastic. For the terrain in Descent does look really cool. The 3D cardboard terrain. You started playing Charterstone with your kids, 8 and 10, and they love the game. It's a sleeper hit family game. I could see that. It's like, for any complaints that we had on our 2-player competitive game, yeah, would be absolutely fantastic as a family game. And probably with more people. Things that kind of frustrated us in it, I don't think would be there at all for playing with just even 3 players. And never mind more than that. Side legendary box is the great big enormous boxes. Oh, and there's fast food takeout boxes inside it. Yeah, it's a shame. Like the Wingspan one, from like the preliminary like ideas, there's going to be like a big Wingspan box that keeps everything in it, and that's going to have like game trays, right? That's going to have proper inserts and stuff for it. But yeah, the legendary box just empty. That's a shame. Have Charterstone but haven't played it yet. Do you think it would be good at 2 players? Oh, predicted questions again. We didn't enjoy it at 2 players, but it depends. Like, Charterstone was the first one that we did, I think.
I wonder if we had just an unfortunate playthrough as well.
Yeah.
Because you were winning from the start.
One of the problems was, despite the fact that there is, like, Jamie had said afterwards, after we'd done our video of what we thought of the whole thing, Jamie had said afterwards that there is rubber banding in the game to try and stop you getting too far ahead of anyone. And for whatever reason, it didn't work in our playthrough, and there was such a gulf of points between us that for the last...
I'm not that bad at playing games.
Yeah, for the last 3 or 4 games or something, it was so obvious that Rach was not going to win and had no chance of even approaching winning. And so it was just kind of like, let's just do stuff and see what new happens. And that element's gone from it. But since then, we've played Rise of Queensdale, And has there been another competitive legacy we've tried? Competitive legacy
My
hasn't.
City we haven't finished.
Oh, yeah, My City we only started, but that I really enjoyed My City. I don't think that's.
Well, we filmed the first 4.
Yeah, but the first playthrough didn't work out.
Oh.
The first playthrough was all shaky, so it would have had to start with number 2. I don't know why I never did any more with My City. It's still waiting there to be played. I think we only did the first 2 games, but. Yeah, Rise of Queensdale didn't work for us as well, and I think maybe it's a problem we've got with like competitive legacy.
It's a shame because we were enjoying it, and then that went downhill. But that, yeah.
Co-op legacy is where it's at. And oh yeah, the theme of Anno, very 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 dry. But yeah, it's never. Yeah, a theme being dry or kind of weird has never put me off.
Not for
trying
us.
something really.
No.
But that's it's because so many games that I already know that I love at this point have pretty dry, boring settings or themes. So yeah, maybe it's pushing it back. So it's Hansa Teutonic got all the key push. Like Concordia, it's like from the artwork did improve in it, and I don't want to be too down on it, but theme wise and kind of the look of the game is quite off-putting to people that don't really know anything about it or haven't played it before, but it's an absolutely incredible game. It's like just having played loads of examples like that as well. And I think part of it is that I was looking into games through watching videos, as well as like just playing things at the game nights and stuff. Like I was watching Rado videos and Dice Tower videos and all of that stuff when I was starting to get all of these things that I'd missed out on when we finally started getting into board games. So like I would have been introduced to something like Concordia from watching a Rado video. So rather than coming from a perspective of looking at the back of the box and thinking that looks boring, I was coming to it from the perspective of watching a giddy man tell me how great it was straight away. So that helps as well. So it's trying to go all the cube pushers. Ask Paul for on screen. Yeah, I can get the chat on screen. I should probably do that. That's probably like, I've thought before, like, I would just like more space on screen to have the table out there. But when I'm streaming to the 2 different places, it would probably be an advantage to have the chat on screen, actually. So I should probably do that. I think at 4 players. Oh yeah, you can add Ultimus as well.
We did play with an Ultimus.
Yeah, well, I think we had to at 2 players, didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah, the Ultima.
Oh yeah, the Ultima was frustrating.
Well.
Yeah, there was one game really early on where the Ultima just kept unlocking all of the legacy things and was just doing it for us, and that was ended up being a negative in the end. Yeah, there's rule for inactive charters and stuff. There is like consideration and stuff, and like rather than it being not great for 2 players, it may well just be that it just wasn't great for us, and that maybe competitive legacy isn't going to be for us, and we should stick to the co-ops. But I'd really like to do more of My City. I think what held us back playing more of My City was my idea of let's film these, because that means you've got to have all the stuff set up and be in the mood to do a video and stuff rather than just play a game. But there is,
and we were playing it opposite each other.
I can't remember,
and we
but
do that now.
I'm trying to think now. Where are those files?
Lost
if
forever.
I filmed those. They're probably on the laptop, because I don't edit on my laptop anymore. They're probably on there still. If I've lost that playthrough, we might as well just play it. I don't think it was that expensive either. And I've heard only great things about My City. Rainer Knizia, tile laying legacy game. But yeah, I think we've caught up, and it's probably time to start sorting out what dinner's going to be.
Should we see if I can find
what's going to be on movie night? Oh yeah, Rach's going to see if she can find Marty for a last goodbye. So that is it for the week of videos, I think. There is Escape Plan. If you are on Patreon, if you're not on Patreon, you could be on Patreon. It's here. And help me keep making more videos. But if you are a Patreon, if you are a patron, you can sign up all these patrons for me. If you're on Patreon, you can see Escape Plan, is what I was trying to get at. That's just gone up, a solo playthrough of Beatles' Escape Plan, which hopefully completes my set of that. I will be back on Monday on the social medias to tell you what's coming up next week. But for sure, there will be some kind of stream on Tuesday as our last thing in August, I think. There will be a recap stream. Maybe that's what's going to be on the 31st of August. There'll be a recap next week where I talk about all the things that I did in August, but also what's coming up and what you can vote on for September, including things like Descent and Glenmore 2 expansion and all that jazz. And there'll be more things next week. But here we go for a little goodbye. Here's Marty. Although the camera is higher up now, I don't think Marty will get in the way of the camera as much as he likes to. Oh, he's very tired. He's doing a little stretch. He's being woken up. Oh wow! There you go. You get some close up. You get some close up Marty face. No, he knows. He knows when you're trying to get him to do something, and he's not interested. There's nothing going on over there. Why don't you come say hello to everyone? Come here. You can't get that way. Right. Thanks for watching, everyone. We're going to deal with a very frustrated and tired cat. Hopefully, he's going to be all cheery and back
in a minute.
and back and curled up.
A treat.
Yeah, he'll have. That's what his fee will be paid in. It's just extra treats. Yeah, he wants to get to the bit where he can't get down from the chair. There's a wall there. He can't get down there. Thank you, everyone, for being here. We'll see you next week for some more stuff. Well, I will see you for some more stuff. School starts and Rachel will be back at that next week. But there'll be more streams at some point with Rachel in them. There'll be Q&As, Rachel still be here. But playthroughs, they'll be coming up at some point. Thank you very much, everyone. I will end the video. I keep ending it and then having another thought. Thank you very much for being here, and we'll see you very, very soon. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.